2010 Camaro 2SS, installing MSD 2351 fuel enhancement unit. Mounted it in the trunk. There's a vacuum tube that runs underneath the back seats, under the left side driver's sill plate, through the firewall, and directly up to the supercharger on the pressure side. Power wires, there's a thick red and black wire, non-fused, run directly to the battery. Instructions say not to fuse it. If you had to fuse it, it has to be a 40 or 50 amp fuse minimal on this unit. Wires run a very short distance underneath the carpet and right down to the battery, heavily insulated because there's no fuse. The two wires that are left are the orange thin and the thin red. Alright, the thin orange one does not run after the fuel module in the car. I tried that. I had 90 pounds of fuel pressure with no way to regulate it. Check engine light came on for rich codes. Cannot run directly to the pump. So all these fallacies about running it right to the pump are false. It has to run before the factory fuel module. The orange wire, very thin, goes underneath the carpet. And then on the right hand side, if you look against the firewall, against the sidewall of the car, there's a fuse box located behind the carpet. The second pin, the red with the white wire, which is on the right hand side down from the top of that fuse block, is where you tap in. It's a thin red and white wire. Cut the wire, you strip it, you solder in the orange wire, which is the trigger point or 12 volts on from the MSD unit, and that's to the thin red with the white stripe wire, which is this right side, fourth one down. The red wire, which is the output to the fuel pump, which in this setup will go directly to the fuel module, gets soldered in. You look at the instructions on this, and this is an outdated instruction book from MSD. You separate the box, and then on this page it shows you soldering in the wires right there. Now the thick red wire goes to the factory 2010 Camaro fuel pump module, raising the voltage up from the minimal voltage it was getting before from this thin wire. And the orange wire coming out of the unit is the 12 volt trigger on. So you're cutting the wire and you're putting them in between the two. Put everything back together again. The car has to run for at least 5 minutes to learn the new fuel curve and slow the injector pulse down. It's going to run rich when you first start it. You should go back to 14.7 once it learns. Now if you come inside the car, you go to the laptop tuning. This is the graph. This is the map sensor. That's basically what the unit's reading, the MSD unit in the back. The top number is the start number, 12 volts. Can't go any lower than that. I wish you could. And then the bottom number is what you can tailor. Right now I'm running a ZL1 pump with this setup, and I got more fuel than I know what to do with. Running 12 volts starting and finishing, but I haven't really got on it yet. I have to learn the system. So this is the software. Computer's mounted in the car, so I can tailor it, and then it reads all the load, the fuel pump in, the fuel pump out, the temperature of the unit, and that's how it works. And the graph moves back and forth when the car is on. So MSD 2351 has to be mounted before the factory fuel module, and you're basically tying into the feed wire, which is the thin red with the white stripe that's located in the right rear of the compartment. Vortec, which is the system this came from, stopped using these units, the 2350, because they had problems with them. The 2351 is updated, it's a good unit, and the price is right. So that's how you install it.